I don't want to admit this right now to you, but I have to. That I have a problem right now that I'm going through. That what I'm starting to realize is that I am becoming depressed again, and I'm noticing the signs. I am noticing a difference in how I feel, in my mood. And this is something that I have been scared of, but I feel like what's happened is I've just been slowly going further and further into being less and less happy, and I've let myself go. And essentially that's what is so hard for me to admit, is that I've let myself go. And it's hard for me to say that I am not doing good because for a while I would say I've had a very, very good run at doing well. I've had a very long stretch of time where I would not have these sorts of feelings. I would not be so depressed. But over the past, I don't know, several weeks, maybe a couple months or so, what I noticed is that there would be more frequent days where I would not have any energy to do stuff. There would be more frequent days when I would just start having an emotional breakdown. Before recording this video, I just started crying, just sobbing and weeping uncontrollably because I was thinking about how much I've let myself go and how far things have went. You know, there reaches a point emotionally when you bottle everything up inside, and it just keeps building up that pressure, and then eventually you reach a tipping point, and at that tipping point, you feel like everything has to change. You feel like this is it. This is the moment where, like, this is where my mind can't take it anymore. I can't handle the fact that I'm letting my life slip away, that I'm wasting all my potential. And you realize that you've let yourself go, and you realize that you're not doing anything with your life, and that you're not getting anywhere. You're not doing what you want to do. And I think I just, out of nowhere, I started just weeping. I just couldn't control it. I couldn't stop myself from crying. And I know that, I've showed you over and over again on this channel what I look like crying. I've been holding back a lot lately. I've been holding back a lot lately. From just, one of the things that I get upset about is the fact that there's so many ideas I have, things that I do want to do for myself. And I overthink it sometimes, and a lot of times I'm afraid of how things are going to go. So I don't do what I want to do. Like, I don't express myself the way I want to express myself. I feel bad about, the way I live my life, because I say, like, oh, I'm going to be a more friendly person. I'm going to try to get along better with people. I'm going to try to actually, like, start relationships with others, like my coworkers at work or my family. I'm going to start talking to people more because that's something I need to work on. And I say all these things that I want to do to make myself feel better about myself. And then what do? I don't do that. Instead, I make things worse somehow by doing the opposite of what I want to do. I isolate myself further from people. I shut down, and maybe that has to do with me being more depressed right now. I don't know, but when I'm depressed, I just feel uninterested in talking to people or doing anything with anybody. It's very hard for me to find the energy to just take care of myself when I'm depressed. Anyway, so I snapped. Like, I just lost it. Like, I feel like I've hit a tipping point. And I feel like this time around, I don't want to get too far into being depressed, I want to just get myself back on the right track quickly, because I know that I'm starting to be depressed again. I feel like I get mentally, I feel overwhelmed mentally just thinking about everything that I have to do. Because it takes work. To work on yourself and to work on your life. Like, I don't know what it is about me. You can say I'm lazy or whatever. You can try to diagnose what's wrong with me. I just know that when I feel like I have a lot of work to do, I would rather not do it. And the thing is that when I waste so much time, when I don't get anything done, when I don't work on myself, it's taking the easy path, so to speak, in my life, where I just don't do anything. But in the moment, it's the easier thing to do. But in the long term, it when I sit down and I reflect on my life, I realize that I wasted all this time and I didn't get anywhere. And I'm not happy with who I am, and I'm not proud of myself and what I've done in my life. I feel like I haven't done enough in my life. So that moment where I reflect on myself and what I've done, that's when I realize that, like, I'm not doing anything. And that's when I start crying, and that's when I start getting emotional. So, you can take the easy path. You can choose to do nothing. You can choose to not work on yourself. You can choose to let your health slip away through bad decisions. You can watch yourself not follow your dreams. You can dig yourself into a deeper and deeper hole in the moment by not doing anything, by not taking care of yourself and wasting your time and wasting your potential. But what's going to happen is one day you're going to look back. One day you're going to look back on everything that you're doing right now. And that moment in the future when you look back on yourself, that future self that's going to reflect on your life is not going to be happy. So it's so, like, I try to think about this all the time. It's not about what do I think is easier to do right now. What I sometimes think about is, am I going to be proud of myself when I'm looking back on this moment at some point? Or am I going to be disgusted and disappointed and hate myself later on because I'm wasting so much time right now? And I think the only way for me to be happy, I feel like, is if I stop letting myself just not take care of myself. In other words, I have to get to work. I have to start doing everything in my life to make myself better, and just not think about all the things that I obsess about in my head. Like, what do other people think about me and stuff like that. These moments, I'm not doing good right now. And in these moments, I spend all my time in my head thinking about stuff. Like, it is so hard right now with, like, so much stuff going on. Like, my brain, I'm thinking about so many things at once. And I'm starting to think, like, I'm not going to care about all the stuff that's going on right now. All the social media drama, all the politics, all the crazy stuff going on in the world, like, that yeah, you're tuned into, because you got to care about things that are beyond yourself. But I feel like when I'm in this state, I want to just stop listening to that kind of stuff. Like, just get out of the drama and the politics. I need to just not care about that, and I need to be so focused on myself and on getting better, on taking care of my life and being happy with myself, because if I keep obsessing over, because I feel like all that stuff is distractions. I feel like, watching TV, getting into politics and stuff, like that stuff is important. Like somebody's got to work through all the politics and stuff, but like I'm not going to do anything to change stuff. And I'm not saying that's not important. It's just like that stuff is just distracting me from being me, from being happy, from expressing myself the way I want to express myself. And I'm just overthinking about things that it's almost like what I need to do is I need to get out of my head and I need to just do stuff. Just do what needs to be done. And the other thing that I think is something that I need to work on is there are a lot of times in my life where I let myself be afraid too easily, and I let myself take the easy path, and I think I need to man up in a lot of situations. And for those of you who don't know what that means, manning up means that you decide to take responsibility for yourself. It means that you're going to face your fears. And that's what I need. Like that's the best thing for myself to do. It's to not let a little bit of discomfort stop me. It's to not let a little bit of fear get in my way from achieving my goals. I'm too shy and nervous about feeling any little amount of pain or discomfort or anything. It's like that's not how you get stronger. That's not how you deal with the issues in your life. You have to face everything head on. And that's what I'm not doing. I'm avoiding every single important thing in my life that I need to be doing. Is I'm just avoiding it. You can't avoid things in your life. That's the answer for me. That's all I need to do. But it's so hard to just do this because my mind, I struggle because I feel like I gravitate towards just doing nothing and wasting my time and not trying hard, not working hard, taking the easy path, sitting on the couch all day, letting myself get distracted with TV and everything and the internet and just watching silly videos and I don't know what I want either. I don't know exactly what I want. And I guess, it's true that you can't really get anywhere if you don't have a plan for where you're going, You gotta have a target in mind, So maybe I need to, actually, this is gonna sound corny, but, maybe I need to actually visualize what I want. Actually, make a plan for myself, Actually do some goal setting, I preach about all this stuff, but I don't actually do the real thing in my life. I'm the worst person ever to give advice. I have problems in my life. I have problems that I can't get through because I haven't learned my lessons. Alright. That's it. I got everything off my chest. I think I figured it out. It makes sense to me. So, I do want to say this. Just, I know that everything that I'm going through right now, I need to vent and talk about this stuff out loud. And I appreciate that you guys listen to me, and I hope that some of you guys benefit in some way from listening to me just talk about this stuff. This is real. That like I'm just going through a lot of emotional stuff. This is all going on inside my head, and I need to just work through it. And I appreciate that you guys care about me, and I want what's best for you. One thing to keep in mind is that I believe that I'm gonna be okay. I know that this is a hard time for me, and I tend to go through like depression on and off, and I feel like now it's getting to be an issue for me that I need to take care of. But I do believe that I always get through it, and I will be okay. And I've been through this so many times before now that I feel like it's easier for me to get through things and just move on. So, I mean, if you're going through anything like this, like me, I do want you to know that things are temporary in the way that you feel. So if you're not feeling good, if you don't have any energy, if you feel miserable, if you hate your life, if whatever, that it doesn't have to be that way. And that you can take some steps easily in your life to get better. And I hope that you choose to do that. I'm gonna be okay. It's just I'm emotional. I react emotionally. And that's it. So thank you everybody for watching. I'm not proud of myself for being like this. I don't feel good about it. But it's honest. I hate admitting this sort of thing too, I feel like it just shows how weak I am, but it's okay, I think. You can't ever get through any of the things that you are dealing with in your life unless you do what I'm doing right now, which is talk about them and not be afraid to seem weak or whatever. It's not like you have to fix what you're going through. You have to work through it, and this is part of the process. Even though it's not something you want to admit, admitting it is the first step in talking about it. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.